back in the heyday of the console wars, I'm talking Sega versus Nintendo, Sonic versus Mario, there was a very famous ad that you would see in magazines and on TV commercials. It was simple, but it got the point across. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Pretty great, right? Okay. That got the point across to people that you get a different experience entirely with Sega than you would with Nintendo. Okay? If you frame that up in today's terms, looking at, let's say, the Xbox One X, which is releasing later this year in November, versus the PS4 Pro that's currently on the market, it would be the X does 4K and the Pro does not. Okay? This is something Phil Spencer and people at Microsoft have tried to hammer into our brains, that the Xbox One X is a true 4K console. You don't want to fake checkerboarding shit on that PS4 Pro. No. You want true, uncompromised 4K, my friends. Well, here's the thing about that. It's really inconvenient. It's an inconvenient fact when the weaknesses are shown in a console. Okay? I'm talking about the news that Assassin's Creed Origins is not going to be 4K on the Xbox One X. I'm talking about the fact that Anthem, that big closing game that they showed at E3, the big closing game, in comparison, by the way, to Sony's closing game, which was Spider-Man, an actual console exclusive, but I won't go into that now. Anthem is not going to be 4K on the super powerful Xbox One X. And Crackdown 3 is going to be 4K. But the thing about Crackdown 3 is, it looks a hell of a lot to me like a last-gen game. Looks a hell of a lot to me like Saints Row 4. Okay, I can feel the hate coming in. And to you people that are going to hate what I just said, I looked at some E3 trailers of Saints Row 4 back in 2013, and I looked at this most recent trailer of Crackdown 3. And not only are there similar-ish looking things about them, of course, Crackdown 3 looks better, don't get it twisted. You know, if you squint and you're looking at the open city, they have simplistic looks to them, okay? But the one thing that is incredibly funny about it is, in both trailers, you have a common denominator. You have Terry Crews in both trailers. I mean, that's like fall out of my chair funny, you know, because I wanted to pull the thread. I'm like, because I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one that looks at that Crackdown 3 gameplay and thinks it's fucking Saints Row. I can't be the only one. I don't know. I might upload like a trailer comparison. It blows my mind. Blows my mind that this game, Crackdown 3, is supposedly going to be a late 27 release, and it doesn't even look as good as some of the best games from last generation. I'm talking about GTA 5, you know, The Last of Us. I know The Last of Us is a different type of game entirely, but it's fucking embarrassing that there's a game that looks like Crackdown 3 releasing this year. I mean, you could say, well, the cell shading, Rick, the cell shading, it's the way the game's supposed to look. I'm like, bullshit. You know? I mean, on the Wii U, Breath of the Wild looked even gorgeous on the Wii U, and it was cell shaded. The problem with Crackdown 3 is not the resolution. It does, in fact, run at 4K. Okay, it actually does run at 4K. The problem with it is it looks like shit. I'm sorry. Looks like shit. Looks like it could easily pass for a last-gen Saints Row game in spots. And that's not knocking Saints Row. It's not knocking Crackdown. I like both series. I think they're really fun open world games. But excuse me to believe, pardon me for thinking that maybe, I don't know, a game that they've been working on for years should look good. Okay? Especially if they're showing the Xbox One X demo. If it's running on the Xbox One X, it shouldn't look like horse shit. But for some reason it does. Okay? Now, you might say to me, that's kind of harsh, Rick. Okay, it's kind of harsh. Games are a lot more than their looks. Okay? Just like people. Alright? You can't just judge people on how they look. Problem with the Xbox One is this, though. It seems like a very vain console. It seems like like an answer to the insecurity of the Xbox One X being 720p a lot of the time. I mean Xbox One OG. The Xbox One original being 720p a lot of the time on games. Seems like this X was born out of that. Okay? Out of insecurity. So, when I see a game like Crackdown 3 looking like shit, running on this $500 new console, it kind of hurts me wanting to get an Xbox One X. So there's that. And, really the main problem I see with the Xbox One X is its identity crisis. Okay, it's being hyped up as a 4K beast of a console. Whenever you see Microsoft talking about it, they can't stop mentioning 4K. 4K, 4K, 4K. Its whole reason for existence to this point, from Microsoft's own advertising, is its ability to play games in 4K. That is the thing that sets it apart from that PS4 Pro machine. Nobody wants that PS4 Pro and all their checkerboard rendering to get fake 4K. They can't even get 4K. That's what Microsoft is trying to hammer home to people. They shouldn't have done that. Okay? They should have been realistic in the advertising of this machine. They should have said, hey, it's 4K most of the time. Okay? Or, it will give you the best bang for your buck. It'll make your games look fantastic. But no. They had to set themselves apart and set themselves up to eat crow and step in shit as they are right now. Because what's going to happen is more and more games in the future are going to be revealed to not be true 4K on the Xbox One X. People are losing their shit because Anthem is not going to be 4K and Assassin's Creed Origins is not going to be 4K. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay? Now, like I said in my last video I made, the Xbox One X is a great deal for its power. Okay? It's a great small little console to have all that power. You could tell Microsoft put a lot of time and effort into it. But what good is a system like that? What good is a 4K upgrade to your existing Xbox One if Phil Spencer can't force developers to make their games 4K on the system? What good is the 4K Xbox One X if it's not 4K?
Oh! It's insane.